Another hit from Robert Eggers. Hey everyone, it's Movie Lover 120 here, and I'm here with a brand new movie review, and this movie review is going to be for a film that has come out this year, but it was a movie I didn't really have time to see in theaters, and it came out back in April 22nd, 2022, because I was kind of taking a bit of a break from theaters around that time. So, but I finally just finished watching it today, because it's hit streaming, and that movie is going to be for none other than Robert Eggers' newest film, The Northman. What's this film about? Well, from visionary director Robert Eggers, director of The Witch and the Lighthouse, comes The Northman, an action-filled epic that follows the young Viking prince on his quest to avenge his father's murder. Yeah. So, how was the film made? Well, born to a Swedish family, Alexander Skarsgård has been fascinated with Viking history and mythology since childhood, and had sought a Viking-themed project with the help of producer Lars Kreuzen. In 2011, Skarsgård was attached to Warner Bros. Epic with the working title The Vanguard, which ultimately did not martialize. Robert Eggers became interested in making a Viking film that followed in a 2016 trip to Iceland with his wife Alexandra Sager, who was a fan of Old Norse sagas. During the trip, Eggers met Bjork, who introduced Eggers to Sejong. In 2017, Skarsgård met Eggers to discuss future projects, but the discussion quickly turned to a Viking Age-themed film. Eggers subsequently reached out to Sejong, and the two began researching and writing the screenplay. The story of the Northman was based primarily on the legend of Enmyth as written by Danish historian Saxo Grammaticus, known as the direct inspiration for William Shakespeare's Hamlet. Eggers cited the poetic Edda, the Prosetta Edda, Egil's Saga, Gris Saga, the Egidian Saga, and the Saga of Hrafn Kraki as additional influences. Archaeologist Neil Price at Uppsala University, folklorist Turi Gonal at the University of Iceland, and Viking historian Jonathan Kretzen, I can't pronounce his last name, serving as historic consultants on the film. Eggers also introduced Conan the Barbarian as a source of inspiration. And then in October 2018, it was announced that Eggers would direct that Viking Revenge Saga, which he would also co-write with Sergio Skarsgård, Nicole Kidman, Anya Taylor-Joy, Bill Skarsgård, Alexander's brother, and Willem Dafoe were in talks to join the film. They would all be confirmed that December, along with the addition of Clarence Banks to the cast. The film was officially in preparation December 2019 and began filming in Belfast in 2020. In August 2020, Bjork, along with her daughter Isadora Doa Barney, Katie Dickerin, and Ethan Hawke had joined the cast of the film. In September 2020, Bill Skarsgård announced he had dropped out of the film due to scheduling conflicts and was replaced with Gustav Lind. And eventually, after the movie was filmed and finished, Northman would have its world premiere in Stockholm, Gloria Cinema on March 28, 2022, and it began theatrical release in some countries on April 13, 2022, and was released theatrically in the United States on April 22nd. The film received critical acclaim with particular praise at its direction, production values, and the performances of the cast. Despite this, the film has proven to be a box office bomb, grossing only $59 million worldwide against a $70 or $90 million production budget. Now, when it comes to the director, so guys, you may know or may not know, I love Robert Eggers' films such as The Witch, which was decent, and then his other film, The Lighthouse, I also liked. I actually saw that movie in theaters opening weekend back in 2019. As for this movie, I did not see this movie in theaters, but I did just finish streaming this film, and what can I say? Well, I think it's another hit from Robert Eggers. As good as The Lighthouse? No. But better than The Witch? Yes. I can see why people liked it. It's beautiful to look at, shot in practical locations, and using CGI to enhance the scenes when required, such as the epic volcano that looms over Iceland throughout the film and features in the ending. The fight scenes are generally well done, though I don't necessarily think that they were as gory as I hoped, whereas others seem to have found them, apparently. Skarsgård's performance was good, though if I'm honest, I'm not sure that any of the rest of the cast, perhaps with the exception of Clarence Ben, really fit the roles they were playing. These are all actors I like in other things, but personally felt like they were miscast here. The Northman, on the other hand, is kind of a match made in heaven that has ventured through the Ryan Nephilim to reach us. Like, it's a masterpiece of grit and violence that is also contemplative and beautiful. The surly, crowd-pleasing action film can also be unmistakably discerned as another great work of Robert Eggers. Like, in the film, Eggers captures the beauty and brutality of Nordic folklore, from the stunning intensity of Alexander Skarsgård to the ethereal mysticism of Bjork and the Sirius, plus a far better usage of Iceland as a shooting location than last year's Lamb was apparently, to some people. I might turn some people off though, even those I'm like, this is basically this story. This basically is kind of just Hamlet's all over again. Like, of course, you all know how the story Hamlet goes. Those who are familiar with Shakespeare, or anyone who doesn't know, just where Shakespeare got the idea of his most mimicked play, or most mimicked and talked about story. When a movie is based on a tale that has inspired countless others, causing many a newbie to mislabel the film unoriginal, usually bring up the John Carter effect, which now I can rename the Hamlet effect. As the Scandinavian legends of Prince Amleth predate the latest of Hamlet and the Lion King more so than the source material, John Carter predates Attack of the Clones, Total Recall, etc. But haven't. Now, while I may understand that some of you might find the plot a bit predictable, like when King of Beowulf Revan greets another character as brother, you all know who is killing whom a few scenes ahead. But now when it comes to performances, Alexander Skarsgård, let's start with, gives a phenomenally performance. Full of a ridiculous intense physicality balanced with a visible pain and trauma. Anya Taylor-Joy's incredible steely-eyed determination, and Claire's Bane is terrific, bringing death and nuance to a possibility one no character. If you expect a gory Viking slaughterfest with the mythic elements, you will be very happy to meet and rate it higher. Honestly, I did not know what I was kind of in for, which kind of made me glad I watched it, but I am going to have some problems with it. I do have some problems with it. One of my problems with the film is that, despite Eggers' tremendous efforts for a Natsu, like I've said, it feels like a straight medieval flick decorated with these weird, Lynchian-like moments. The others don't fit as naturally as Robert was hoping, and you get the impression he only put them on the show, like, he's Robert Englund's and he makes weird high and stuff, but this is not the case for me. I'm not liking the weird or not lucid moments film in general. I think the Green Knight's, yeah, it kind of feels like those weird Robert Eggers moments. And it kind of prevents this from being the #1 best film of 2022. Like, the films I find better than this movie are The Batman, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Jackass Forever, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I find those slightly better than this. This particular film doesn't wear well the hallucinogenic flair with which Eggers adores it. This isn't a ruins the film problem. It could have just been done without a few of those, or would have approached them differently. Just without any of the typical Eggers moments. Also, the narrow decision to make the usurpers his own kingdom and flee to Iceland in exile, while humorous, did little to add a sense of skill to the story. So, kind of instead of a grand epic where one man takes an entire kingdom alone, it felt more like a personal tale of betrayal within one family, where no one really wins because revenge is the only thing that matters. Which I guess is fine narratively, but the problem is that it's not really what one would be expecting here. But those are kind of the only problems I have. I think The Northman is still one of the best films of this year. So, yeah, in the end, The Northman is one of my favorite movies of 2022. And I've been and so far I'm really enjoying this more original film route I've been taking as of lately. I can't wait to see what other more independent, unknown releases get released this year. But anyway, now if you're wondering my recommendations for this movie, well, I would say go see it in theaters, but it's probably out of most theaters by now, or I think it's still in theaters, but unless you don't feel like it's worth seeing in theaters now, because you won't have to because it's on streaming now, so I don't think you'll have to worry about having to get down to theaters, because I think you can just watch it at home now, because I actually stream this movie at home, so yeah, you can just watch the movie at home if you don't feel like going to a theater. So yeah, anyway, in the end, that's it for my review of The Northman, and if you're wondering how I'm going to rank The Northman, here's how I'm going to rank this movie. So overall, if you are a fan of Robert Eggers' films and want to see what he has in store for you guys in this film, then easily give this a watch and buy it for your collection for sure. And if you're wondering how I'm going to rank The Northman, I'm going to give The Northman a 9 out of 10. There we go. That's it for my review of The Northman. And I think that takes care of the releases I've missed around April or didn't have time to catch around April. So now I think I'm finally caught up in the 2022 movie season. And now we all know next week's releases are Top Gun Maverick and Bob's Burgers. So that's going to be a big crowded weekend. And yes, I plan to watch both of them because, like, when it comes to Top Gun Maverick, Top Gun's a pretty good movie. It's not a masterpiece I'll revisit often, but I've heard good things about the sequel. When it comes to Bob's Burgers, a movie, yeah, I'll watch that. I was a Bob's Burgers fan in high school, so of course I'm going to go watch that. But until then, guys, that'll be it for this review. Thank y'all for watching, and if you like this and want to see more, then don't forget to like, subscribe to Movie Lover 120.